There's a hidden saboteur lurking in your writing. It's in your world building descriptions, your prose, it's even in your RPG alouds, and all the while it's alienating your audience and keeping them at arm's length. But I'm a published author and game developer, and I'm on a mission to help you create better worlds, games, and stories. So let me tell you all about filter words and how cutting them will transform your writing, your RPG games, and your world building. Let's start with a definition. What are filter words? Well, filter words are, as the name suggests, words which filter the world of your story through the eyes of your main character. They're an incredibly common way of describing world building and action, and you can find them everywhere, from novels to video games to published RPG alouds. Here's an example. Lena heard thunder rumble across the bay. She watched rain patter in thick drops onto the vast stones, slow then racing like her heartbeat, she thought. She smelled the spicy, earthy scent as the world around her seemed to open its lungs and release a deep sigh. Did you spot the filter words? Heard, watched, thought, smelled, and even seemed. They're all filter words. They're filtering the scene description through the eyes, ears, and nose of Lena, our main character. There's nothing grammatically wrong with this, and it's an alright piece of description. So what's the big deal? Why get rid of filter words? Well, while sensory-rich writing is a great thing, and we did a whole video on it, by the way, check that out, these filter words can keep your audience at arm's length. Even more, they're not adding anything. If we're in a character's head, their point of view, to use a technical term, and there's a sound, we understand that she hears it. We don't need to be told. Readers and players are pretty smart, and they know you won't be describing what your characters can't see unless you specifically say so. So if these words aren't adding anything to our prose, why are we letting them take up space? We don't need them, and they're watering down our writing. And even more, by getting rid of filter words, we can create a more visceral, immediate experience by inviting our audience deeper into our character's consciousness. And we use fewer words to do it. That sounds like good writing to me. All well and good, but how do you get rid of filter words? Well, here are a few techniques that I use. To start with, remove the character from the equation when you're describing scenery. Instead of Lena heard the thunder rumble across the bay, what about thunder rumbled across the bay? It's shorter, and you're focusing on the active verb, rumbled, making it feel more dynamic. Or how about leaning into your metaphors? Seemed is often a culprit here. We use it when we're feeling shy about our descriptions, like in this sentence. She smelled the spiced, earthy scent as the world around her seemed to open its lungs and release a deep sigh. Obviously, the earth isn't really sighing. It's just what it seems like to the main character. Rewrite it as a metaphor and you get a spiced, earthy scent rose around Lena as the world opened its lungs with a deep sigh. That feels more whimsical and poignant, without the filter words getting in the way. And again, you'll notice it's more compact, as well as more immersive. Another way, especially for getting rid of filter words like thought or perceived, is to allow your characters to think in real time. Free indirect speech, that is, a character's thoughts written as narration, is really common, especially for snarky or witty characters, and it gives us a delicious insight into a character's private world. By removing she thought and letting the reader figure out that this is free indirect speech, we get rain pattered in thick drops onto the vast stones, slow then racing like her heartbeat. That's evocative and powerful. No filter required. And you can do exactly the same thing with game writing. These filter word examples are from published role-playing games, from some of the bigger companies, just saying, from allowed sections in their adventures. And no, I won't tell you which ones, because I'm not shaded. By simply rewriting them to remove those filter words, they become so much more engaging. And even better, they no longer assume the RPG characters can hear, smell, or whatever, because sometimes that's not the case. Some people have terrible passive perception, and in RPGs, players might choose for a deaf or a blind character. This allowed now honours that. So now you know how to spot filter words, and you know how to rewrite them. But how do you catch them all? Well, the search tool is your best friend. In World Anvil, simply search your manuscript, our novel writing software, or use your browser's search feature. Most other writing software has some kind of search too. And what are you searching for? Well, your handy dandy list of filter words. I've shared this list in the blog down in the description, so you can easily copy and paste it and have it close at hand. I've also added it as a pinned comment to this video, and while you're down there, why not let me know which filter word you find yourself using again and again? For me, it seemed. And one final tip about filter words, don't stress about them in your first draft. Whether it's RPGs or novel writing, worrying about these things can put us off our flow. So save hunting for them for an edit pass or a second draft. You can definitely, as we say in YouTube, fix it in post. If this video has been helpful, please like it for more and subscribe for more practical craft advice on world building, writing, and game mastering. And let me know your top tips for catching filter words in their tracks down in the comments. Now grab your hammer and go smash those filter words.